Hello, this is Tony Hiller from RealClimateScience.com. The city of Louisville, Colorado has decided to ban any new gasoline stations in their city because they want to protect their children from climate change. We are responding to the climate crisis. We're responding to citizens' concerns about how our community is moving forward relative to the climate crisis. Their belief system seems to be that if they don't have enough gas stations, it will prevent future bad weather. I used to live in Boulder and work in Louisville, and I commuted there on my bicycle every day. 7 years ago, they built a very nice bike trail which goes from Boulder to Louisville. I counted about a half dozen bicycle commuters who I would see regularly along the trail. I assumed that most of the rest of the people were driving a car on the highway. What the city is accomplishing by doing this is making life more difficult for their residents. At the same time, they're increasing the use of fossil fuels and increasing greenhouse gas emissions. This seems rather counterproductive, and I don't think there's much Louisville could do to change the weather anyway. Maybe what they're trying to do is to force people to buy electric vehicles. Let's take a look at where Louisville gets their electricity from. It's from this fossil fuel power plant over the hill in Boulder. What the city is trying to do is to force people to switch from one type of fossil fuels to another one. Once again, I don't think their actions are going to do much to change the weather. This is a form of ritual sacrifice. It accomplishes nothing but makes life more difficult for the people who live there. They're making meaningless sacrifices to their climate change gods. I was perfectly happy to have very few people on the bike trail during my commute to Louisville. 6 years ago, I got to watch and film several Cooper's hawk chicks hatch and grow up along the bike trail. More people along the bike trail would have made it more likely that something bad would happen to the birds. The city of Louisville's plans are ridiculous, but ritual climate sacrifice is nothing new. Native Americans in Central America believed that they could end droughts by sacrificing lots of humans. When the drought ended, that's how they would know that the gods were pleased with their sacrifice. And around the same time in Europe, Europeans were burning thousands of witches at the stake for cooking the weather. They blamed bad weather on witches. Climate alarmists are more sophisticated now, though. They blame bad weather on Donald Trump and Republicans rather than witches. The sacrifice of gas stations seems to be only the beginning of their plans. They want to shut down fossil fuel companies completely. They say that bad weather caused by the burning of fossil fuels is killing members of the public at an accelerating rate. And they want oil companies prosecuted for selling their product. Not surprisingly, their legal theory is based on complete nonsense. Death rates from all types of natural disasters, including meteorological and climate events, are down 95% over the last century to a record low. The claim that people are dying at an accelerating rate is the exact opposite of reality. Let's think about what would happen if they were successful at getting fossil fuels shut down. Billions of people around the world are dependent on fossil fuels for their day-to-day survival. Our food is grown and distributed using fossil fuels. If trucks weren't able to fill up with diesel, how would they get the food to the store? Billions of people around the world would quickly be freezing and starving in the dark. Native Americans and Europeans killed thousands of people as part of their ritual climate sacrifices. But modern climate alarmists seem to have much bigger goals. It appears that they want to wipe out most of the world's population. If people don't have access to food, light, heat, transportation, and communications, society would quickly collapse. Globalists have been quite open about their plans to use the climate scam to massively reduce the Earth's population. Here's an article from Bloomberg 4 years ago saying that the planet is facing a climate emergency and we need far fewer humans on the planet. And the World Economic Forum has been quite open about the fact that they want the peasants locked up in their homes. Reducing the amount of gas stations is one way to help achieve that. Toto has been pulling back the curtain on this mindless ritual sacrifice for the past 15 years. You can visit him, Kyrie Caesar, Toki Upla, and the 4 new puppies on the web at realclimatescience.com.